Chat, chat, chat. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Good afternoon, greenhorns, and welcome to the Road to Wrestling School, the HOV to the HOP. HOP, of course, standing for the Superior Professional Wrestling Training Center, House of Pain. I'm Grizzly Joe Grasso.
And I'm hashtag Hamish Stewart.
We are literally on the Road to Wrestling School, and we want to let you listen in on the conversations. Greenhorns, here's a special edition of the Road to Wrestling School. We are, in fact, still on the Road to Wrestling School, right, Hamish?
That's right.
But we are on our way to an open training session. Practice matches, which are open to the public.
That's right. What that means is open training session. Training matches are set up. It's run just like a show for training purposes only for the trainees.
Because really, Greenhorns, half your match is about the audience.
That's right.
And that's what I want to talk about. We're going to talk about the audience.
And
Look, I stumbled on a topic.
Hey, look at you. And half of this show really is training you to get into the mindset of how a show runs, how the whole overall, the whole thing goes. So you don't want to walk into a place and, not know kind of soup to nuts how it goes. You'd hate to be that guy that walks in and goes, oh, where do I stand? Or what does this happen? What does the word gorilla mean? Or what does this do?
You don't want to be that guy.
No, you definitely don't want to be that guy. So working in a open training matches really helps the trainees go through, hey, this is how it goes. This is when you show up. This is what a call time is. This is a show up time. This is what you're supposed to do during the call time and before the show opens.
Right.
This is how our pre-show will go, and we'll talk over everything, and this is how the rest of it will progress.
Exactly.
And we'll go into that as
really getting the flavor
through.
of a show,
Right. There are various phases of it, of the whole experience over the night, and an open training session really helps that out. But Grizz, you have something that we'll talk about the open training session and the flow of it, but you got a topic there that you stumbled upon.
Yeah,
so
didn't I?
That's
smooth.
Right. So go for it.
Audiences. So you're not wrestling in a vacuum. It's a performance, like we say so many goddamn times. And if it's a performance, that means there's an audience. Wrestling audiences are unlike any other audiences. For you actors out there,
you'd like to hope there was an audience too.
God, you like to hope, because sometimes you will wrestle for 20 people.
Yeah, you'll wrestle for 10s and 20s of people.
But here's what's important, and I know, preserve your body, all that. Wrestle for 20 people like you would wrestle for 5,000.
Yes.
Wrestle for 20 like you would wrestle for 2 million. Because you know what? If you wrestle like that for those 20 people, Hamish, if you wrestle for like that for those people, they'll go tell their friends.
That's right. And like our illustrious trainer John Rambo always says, train like you're going to do a show.
Yeah, don't half-ass anything.
Yeah, if you half-ass in training, you're going to half-ass during a show.
That's
if
right.
you half-ass during a bomb scare show or a show where there's nobody in the audience, you're going to half-ass it every other place.
So here's the deal with audiences. So modern audiences are very polite. Now, this is not true of every wrestling crowd, and I'll get to that in a second, but I'm talking about straight audience for like a play, for like going to see a show. People are very polite. They don't want to call out. They don't want to yell. You want the opposite with wrestling crowds. You want them to get so involved. It's very Shakespearean, actually.
Yeah.
Because the old Shakespearean crowds, they were called the groundlings, the ones that paid for the little ground seats. They paid penny for their little seats right under the stage there, right next to the stage.
And some of them stood. There weren't really.
Yeah. That's right. There weren't really any chairs. They would get so involved with the show. They would yell things at the actors. They would throw things. They would be rowdy. And that's what you want out of your wrestling crowd. You don't want them sitting politely, clapping, unless you're at a Japanese audience. That's a whole different. That's their style.
Yeah.
But if you're an American, you want a Southern audience. Southern audiences, it's still real to them, damn it.
Yeah, and they want to believe. They're buying the ticket to come into the show. Now, so the Northern audiences and some of your Raw audiences, but a lot of the time...
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll go with the typical audience.
Typical wrestling audience.
Which
your ideal wrestling audience.
Like to run into. They want to walk in, just like any play or any movie, they want to walk in and forget that the world is around them and enjoy the world that you're putting on for them.
That's right. Now, speaking of putting the world on, we're doing kayfabe's broken, but for them it can't be. For you and them it can't be. In that moment, it's like you're performing a play. You're not going to go out as Hamlet and be like, hey, bros, thanks for coming out. No, you're going to go out as Hamlet. You're going to go out to that ring because you're a face, you're a heel, and you're going to interact with that audience in that way.
Right, and that's what, again, That's what the booker booked you to do.
Yeah, they booked you to do that.
You were booked in a certain sequence for a certain match so that you could deliver that. Not so you could go out and be something else, or so you could go out and break it and be the cool heel or whatever you want to do, whatever your shtick is.
Right.
But to go out and do what the booker asked you to do.
Now, here's a tip for faces and heels. Focus on the kids.
Yeah.
So the kids are excited to be there. For the kids, it really is real. And parents love it when their kids get interacted with. So you're not just getting the kid, you're getting the parents, and you're getting everyone around the kid. You're getting everyone involved, which leads me to the next point. Focus on one fan. When you come out to that ring, don't try to blanket everyone all the time. Get out there, maybe start that way, but then you want to focus on one person. This is also true when you're delivering a monologue on a stage. A little cross-reference there.
That's pretty good.
When you're talking to the audience, talk to one person, because everyone will get behind that fan. If you're a heel and you're putting down the one person in front of you, everyone around that fan, it's like
like group mentality, or like
it's like a gravity pit.
Yeah.
Everyone will just suck into that fan.
Right. And especially if you're going, you got that fan going, you're getting on that one person. Once it turns around on you and they're like, yeah, they get up, they jump up in your face, the people beside them jump up,
Yep.
It's a whole eruption, and it's a whole nother atmosphere when you can connect with one really strong fan and really get them going.
It's true. That's what we got to focus on as our heels, just focusing on those 1-2 fans.
Right.
Really, I've tried to do that more. I'll go and argue with someone about how I'm a real Scot, and this is what a real man looks like.
Yeah, and typically, and also, there's other avenues of this. You can also not interact very much with the audience, but give them, frightened looks as a heel, or any other type of look that you want to do.
Hey, you'll find your gimmick. You don't always have to come out yelling and screaming.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to go, you don't want to get over too bad at, the cheap heat, but you also, if you're going to focus on one person, focus on them and do it right. Don't make fun of their mother. Don't make fun of any of that stuff.
Yeah,
but
never make fun of someone's mother. That will get you a slap in the back from a wrestler.
Also might get you a gun pulled on you.
That may also happen. That's what we call red hot heat.
Yeah.
Avoid the red hot heat.
Yeah, you definitely want the good stuff.
I think I told this story, but Roddy Piper, when he'd go to a Denny's or something, he'd go in the back to the chef, slip him $20 and say, "Please don't spit in my food."
Yeah, and just recently, actually, within the last 3 to 6 months, there was a wrestler, a lady pulled a gun on him in a wrestling show.
And that was in the South.
Yeah, walked in the ring, pulled a gun on him because I forget why, but she was into the show.
Watch the red hot heat.
So there are people out there for that, and there are people who really want to get into it, and this is their thing. This is their sports season.
That's
this
right.
is their football. This is their whatever. This is, if it's that, let them have it. This is the good times. This is their time to have fun and enjoy the world that you're building and the stories you're telling.
Absolutely. And remember, guys, less, and gals, less is more.
That's right, you grimy lasses out there.
Yeah, the grimy. Hey, we totally have gimmick, guys.
I know, we've got gimmick.
We got shirts in the back.
We should take pictures of it.
Pictures of it.
And maybe sell it over the podcast.
I've said on several different podcasts that, I'm going to show a picture of this, but I always forget.
I know.
Because these come out like 2 weeks after I record them.
Haphazardly, yeah.
And I just forget.
And then we listen to it, and then we're like, we said they were going to do that.
No one's called us on it.
Yeah, no.
Tell you what, when y'all call us on it, I'll post them.
That's right, yeah.
How about that?
We get
that
called
always
on
works
it.
out. Yeah, get the audio, whatever.
Yeah.
Where was I? Oh, less is more. So, you don't feel like you got to come out screaming. If you're a heel, you ain't got to yell at every single person. You don't have to, push somebody over. You want to avoid physical altercations at all costs because you never know when a fan's going to go crazy.
Yeah, definitely.
You never know what's going to happen. So.
Remember Ric Flair would come out, and he wouldn't make fun of anybody.
No, he was just, adore me.
Yeah, he came out with his "my S doesn't stink" look, and, I can kick anybody's butt.
Did you just say S?
My S, yeah.
You're still in kid mode?
No, I guess so. Yeah, I just left my house and my young son. So he came out with that "my shit doesn't stink" look on his face.
This is earn our explicit.
Yeah, there you go. And that's a whole nother atmosphere. Go through the things that you have to go through. You want to go through when you come out and deal with a crowd.
Mm-hmm.
You want as a heel, you want that crowd to not like you. They can not like you for several different reasons. It doesn't have to be...
Right. Think about why you dislike anyone you dislike.
Yeah.
It's not always the same thing.
Yeah, it's not you just, this crowd's going to dislike me because I yell at them. Yeah, sure, anybody can yell at them, but...
Right, anybody can say, you suck, shut up.
Right, you're a douchebag.
Right, I mean,
yeah,
I mean, that's what we call cheap heat in the business.
Right.
It's cheap.
Oh my God, the best. This is another story, but so we were at so we're going to sell gimmick. This is a new territory for us as heels. But so we were at the Lord of the Rings tournament. I forget the guy who was backstage.
I don't remember his name either.
One of Samu's wrestlers.
Yes.
He came out. It was one of the first or second matches, and he came out, you guys are crap. You're the worst crowd ever. Look at you backwoods people. I'm from Pennsylvania. Blah, 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 blah. We get to the intermission, and it goes to gimmick sales, and everybody's like, hey, you got a gimmick, and he's sitting there kind of getting his stuff. He's getting ready to go home. He's dressing up. He's going to stay for the rest of the show, but he goes, yeah, let me grab my stuff. I just called these people douchebags, nobodies, and backwaters. Yeah, they're going to buy my shit. Sure. It's the funniest thing. It's just nonchalant way he said it. He was like, nope, I'm good. But this goes into one thing. It's going to dovetail into respect and then dovetail back into the show.
Here we go.
So
it's a lot of dovetailing.
It is. He was getting hit. He was taking his gimmick off and getting into street clothes, but he was staying for the end of the show.
Yes.
So that shows a lot of respect for the other people on the show and also for the show itself. He didn't leave until the show was over after everybody kind of helped up and wrapped up, and that was it. So another part of the show is sort of the wrap-up, and we'll get into that as we get further down the road.
Sure.
But yeah, so that was a little story about selling the gimmick there, and how it's just a funny little anecdote.
It's nice. I like it.
Yeah, I love that story. Makes me laugh every time thinking of that guy's face.
So you're dealing with wrestlers. So the important part of this training is it's coming out. You're trying to get over with the fans. You're trying to make them hate you. Trying to make them like you. Don't feel like you got to make them do that with your first time out. It's your first time out. They may not know who Crush the Annihilator is.
Right.
They got to get to know you, and the way they get to know you is what you do in the ring. So when you're doing things in the ring, you got to look for audience reaction. Now, this is going to take a lot more training, and frankly, it's not a lot of training we've had. I mean, certainly at the festival, we've dealt with that on, like, the chess game.
Oh, yeah.
But with wrestling, you can tweak your match at any time. We can't tweak our choreographed fights too much at any time. But wrestling, you could change the whole thing mid-match if you wanted to.
Right.
Because the audience maybe just isn't into it.
That's my most favorite part of it. That's my most favorite part of just calling an audible and going to a different direction.
Oh, that's my least favorite part of it.
Oh, God, it's so good.
I got to get used to that, though, because that's important.
That is my most favorite. I was doing a three holds with one of our new guys.
Yeah.
And the transition to the heat was going to be, okay, you come running and I just boot you in the stomach and then we'll transition to the heat. So the referee was a new ref. And I was bitching and complaining. Oh, he's pulling my hair. Oh, he's got something in his boot. Turn around and take a look. And the referee went over to take a look. And
it was a green referee.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, well, go recheck him. And he was like, all right. So we went to check him, and as he bent down, I poked the face in the eye with my thumb.
That was a nice. I mean, you went with the flow, and I think even though the ref made a mistake by going to look at the boot, he played it. It played. It worked.
I was glad he did it.
He's like, all right, we're going to go through it. We're going to follow.
If he didn't, I had it in my back pocket. I was just going to kick him in the stomach. So I was just going to lock up again and kick him.
This is a side lesson, a little sidebar here. When you make a mistake in a match, just go with it. Don't try to go back and fix it. Go with it. Let it be what it is and move on.
Right.
Or in this case, the ref made a mistake going to check the boot, because normally the ref ain't going to go check the boot. He's going to say there's nothing in his boot or whatever.
Right. Yeah, I've already checked him. Come on, stop crying.
But Hamish here ran with it, and the ref ran with it, and the other wrestler ran with it, and it became a bit.
Yeah, it worked out.
That's improv. That's good improv. That's yes and, like I talked about.
Yeah, and when he did, I poked him in the eye, boom, and then I started my heat.
I love that. It was funny.
Like, hey, that worked out great. Good for me.
And you just got to pay attention. Like, you got to be listening with your whole body and wait for those moments. But, I mean, the listening, it goes to the audience, too. Listen to how the audience is reacting.
Right.
That's my problem. I don't listen to the audience. I get in my little world of here's a fight, and I hope they like it, as opposed to what can I do to make us all meet in the middle.
Right, and we've got to, and that's one of the things that we have to play with tonight is slowing it down. As we have the heat.
We've earned our heat. Let's
slow it down, and then we can take, slowly walk them over to the side, do whatever we want to do.
Yeah, let's work that kindling.
Yeah.
Let's get, because you can't get to your fire up until you build your kindling, until you build your heat.
Got to build that heat up, and when we do,
got to make them hate us.
Yeah,
we got to slow it down. Like, oh, you wanted a fast match? Well, here we go.
Right? Yeah, or
I'm gonna wrench this in,
or when we go over and knock knock the other guy and bring him in, or however we do it.
Whatever we do.
Get the people to not.
Now remember, don't go after Klein right away, because that's a cue.
Oh, don't worry. Don't worry.
I'm worried about you, because you get ideas in your head, and then it just happens.
It just does. Bring it on.
That's fine. We can all talk in the ring if we have to.
Another thing. We all will talk in the ring. That's how.
I mean, that's what you're supposed to do. But here's the thing. So when we're training, we'll talk in the ring, but we're not very quiet about it. You got to be quiet about it when there's an audience there, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that to you, just in general. Because I talk. I'm like,
hey,
there's a thing coming.
And hopefully, that leads me to another funny story. But anyway, you keep it quiet, and you could talk in the ring. Oh, man, I forgot where I was going with this, but let me tell you the story. So we're training, and there's this ref there who was kind of newish, so I'm doing something. I knock the face around. He starts to get up. The ref comes over to mess with me, like, hey, and I turn to the ref, without the audience there, and I go, tell him to stay in the corner. Like, real nice and quiet. Referee literally turns to him and goes, hey, stay in the corner! Screams it at him. I was like, thanks, dude. I could have done that.
It's a learning experience, man. That's great.
I could have literally just yelled that to him. But anyway.
He didn't know. That's good.
Yeah, no, it was funny. It got to the point where I was going to that if you get the crowd hot, then you can talk a little louder.
You can, yeah. If you get them yelling and screaming, you can talk full volume if you want sometimes.
Right. But, okay, so I'm gonna get off the crowd and go into sort of the phases of the show.
Okay, go ahead.
And what...
Well, before you do that, let's take a little break for the steak.
There you go.
And we'll go to our many sponsors. Kaboom.
And now, the Road to Wrestling School would like to thank all of our wonderful sponsors.
And we're back.
Oh, nice.
And if he manages to get off his rear and stop doing frou-frou theater shows for a minute, he's doing Bloody Bloody Andrew Jackson at Milburn Stone Theater, which will be over by the time this comes out.
Oh, good. I'm glad we put it over after.
To hell with him.
Yeah.
Ryan Milliner, Big Daddy Rai, Big Bear's Den. Big Bear's Den.
Hey.
His name's Big Bear Roy Gillette.
Big Bear Roy Gillette.
Also, he's Big Daddy Rai on Fat Life.
Big Daddy Rai.
He doesn't know much about pro wrestling.
Was Maven a wrestler?
But he was on our podcast before. So we gave him his very own segment called Big Bear's Den.
I can't wear hats.
Hey, what's up, kids? It's your boy, Big Bear Roy Gillette. Now, I'm not recording in my car. I'm actually recording in my house, and I gotta be quiet because my wife's cooking dinner. Okay? All right. So, all right, look, this one's probably going to be a little bit long, and Joe Grasso's got his work cut out for him because he always edits out my stutters, my stammers, and my uhs, so he's probably got a long way to go to make this try to fit into the warranted time. But Joe Grasso was like, hey, BBRJ, I got some news for you. I want to know who your dream card is. So I had to think, I had to sit and I had to think about this, my dream card, any wrestler from any time, who would it be? And rather than say, just Killer Kowalski versus Gorgeous George, I had to put some legitimate thought into this. So he gave me 5 to 8 matches. I think I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 7 here that you might be interested in. Now this is all for me. Out of my pure curiosity. If you don't like it, I do apologize. Some of the people on here aren't even my favorite wrestlers. Like, one of my favorite tag teams, I love the Legion of Doom, the Road Warriors, and they're not on here. So, it all depends. All depends. So, my dream match would open with, and just so you know, everybody on this list, some of them are dead now. Think of them as when they were in their prime, okay? Like when they were probably at the height of their career. So my event would open with a tag team match between El Gigante and Barry Horowitz as a tag team, and they would go up against the Great Khali and the Brooklyn Brawler. I really just need to see who's the worst out of these 4. I think Barry Horowitz is a legitimately good wrestler. He just, takes a lot of shots, and takes a lot of falls, unless it's Body Donna Skip, in which case he'll for some reason win that match, which was crazy, by the way. But I just have to know, who's the worst out of these 4 wrestlers? And honestly, I don't know who would win. I think Barry would probably win. Him and El Gigante. Up next, dude, oh my God, this is so exciting. So after that craptacular crap fest that would take place, and the audience would be like, why did we even pay tickets to Big Bear's super wrestling event, which is what the name of it would be, by the way. Brought to you by New Japan, because they love long titles like that. The next one, this would be a legitimately good 3-way match right here, okay? You ready? Now remember, these are guys in their prime. I need Sabu from ECW versus Rey Mysterio, okay? Now that's not all. They would come out and they'd fight for a little bit, like, where's the other guy? Where's the other guy? Who's it gonna be? They'd be flying around, flipping, cartwheeling. Sabu would be hurting himself because he doesn't know how to do moves properly. Rey Mysterio would be doing it off with some finesse. And then finally, when it looks like things are about even, bam, Marty fucking Jannetty comes out. And you're like, what? And he's out and he goes, bam, super fast. Might not be super acrobatic, but he's super quick. And he's got the moves, man. And honestly, I think Marty Jannetty, after a long drawn-out fight, might win this thing. I think he could kick some butt. Alright, so then we go on to match number 3. And this is the gimmick match to end all gimmick matches. It's 4-on-4, you know what I mean? Not like an 8-man tag team match. I don't really know what I'm talking about. It's one of those things, a 4-way. Hot and kinky. You know what I mean? I need IRS. He comes out first, and he's followed up by Repo Man, and he's followed up by the Mountie. And I know what you're thinking, Ryan, that's a lot of heat. That is a lot of heat. So we need a hero. We need one man to come out and be the good guy amidst all this 4-way anger, and that's the Big Boss Man. So basically, yeah, I'm throwing out like a 1991 Royal Rumble at you. But that's just the way it is, man. That's what I like. I loved all those gimmicks when I was a kid, all the colorful characters and stuff. So yeah, I think Big Boss Man would probably win it. I think the Mountie would probably be the first one out of the ring. Repo Man probably the second. And then I think Big Boss Man and IRS would probably go head to head. And I think Big Boss Man would win it. I like Big Boss Man pretty well. He's pretty cool. Up next, I thought this would be a cool one for people who, like newer guys. I had thought we could have, that, what's that, like, redneck family? I don't guess, I don't know. They're weird, they're like, oh, let's bring out the old man's rocking chair and he can sit in it. And, people apparently don't find that to be weird. The fact that there's a dude in a rocking chair in the middle of, pyrotechnics and, the big steel platform that people walk down. But anyway, I'd take his giant backward-ass son or nephew, or Braun Strowman, that huge dude, that guy who wears a wife beater and looks like he's probably like a powerlifting champ on the weekends. I'd get him, and I'd get a fresh 1993 Bam Bam Bigelow. I want to see those two dudes go at it. I want to watch just guts slapping just like dirty pieces of meat one-on-one. And Bam Bam, he'd be up there doing acrobatics too, dude. He'd be doing a 450-pound fucking moonsault off the top rope. I'd love it. And hopefully Bam Bam would win, but maybe not. Maybe we got to lean towards the bad guys on this one. And Bam Bam's got to lose it. And he's got to walk back up the smoky gates of heaven and be like, hey, I'm out of here. And you're like, okay, all right. You take it easy, Bam Bam. You're still number 1 in our hearts. Okay, so this next match is a little bit weird. Because I awoke from a dream and I thought about it. Okay, so say Shane McMahon maybe invented a time machine and that's how all these dead wrestlers are coming back to life. And say maybe he woke up Macho Man Randy Savage and then they fought. So Shane McMahon, who looks kind of like a soccer hooligan, like a pre-game, pre-drunk soccer hooligan. Maybe he's got 1 or 2 Guinnesses in him. Versus Macho Man Randy Savage, straight up steroid ingesting machine, Macho Man. And I just want to see him go at it. Because you know what? Shane McMahon had a lot of heart. And Macho Man is just one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. It's true what he said. He said that thing. Yeah, I can't remember right now. I had it in my head, and I can't remember. I'm super nervous because I know these choices are all shitty. They're the worst. They have to be. But you know what? It's my card, and I don't care. I'm the one who threw money at it. But, hey, if I was good at booking wrestling matches, I'd be Paul Heyman. And 90 guys would be out of a job. So, okay. Up next, we got, I don't know who would win that one. Yeah, I do. It's Macho Man. Let's get real. let's not shit ourselves. It's Macho Man. Up next, we got another match for the guys who like newer guys. I want Ken Shamrock, back when he was, Mr. McMahon's like enforcer guy, and he, beat up Gangrel. Please see earlier podcast for that hilarious impression. I need Ken Shamrock to go up against Brock Lesnar. And I don't mean now, like Brock Lesnar riding his athletic shorts underneath his tiny beer gut. I mean like a couple years ago, back when he was like, right before he started going into MMA, and people were like, he's a joke. And like, maybe he's not a joke. But yeah, I need those two. Before Lesnar got into MMA, after Ken Shamrock got out of it. That's where I need him to meet. And you know what? Maybe special guest referee Steve Blackman. Just because I want to see Steve Blackman's intense face. There's so much anger under that beard, Steve. What's going on under there? It's pain, suffering, anger, a kendo stick. But I'm sure Brock Lesnar would win it. I wouldn't want him to, and it would probably be a squash match, but I think that's just the way it is. And finally, here's the match, that I just really wanted to see. Give me Hogan. You know what? You could even make it Hollywood Hulk Hogan. You know what? In fact, yeah. I need Hollywood Hulk Hogan versus Tommy Dreamer from ECW versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's the three-way match I need. Because I need to know. I need to know who won the Monday Night Wars. As a 27-year-old man going on 28, that's what bothers me. Those things were the three things when I was a kid. You know what I mean? They were a big deal. And I need the big headliners to go at it. I need Hollywood Hulk Hogan to be out there. I need him to be, doing the leg drop. And Dreamer, he's got to do the DDT, and Austin's got to do the Stone Cold Stunner. Now let's get real. I know, Tommy Dreamer's my boy. He'd be the first one out of this match. He'd be the first one out. He'd get a stunner, and you know what? People would love it, because Tommy Dreamer can take that kind of punishment, and then it would be that. It would be what you want. It would be Hogan versus Austin right there. Big boots flying, knee braces getting torn off. You know what I mean? Hogan's like, let me tell you something, brother. And Austin's like, yeah, hell yeah. You know what I mean? Their weird accents going head to head. And, man, honestly, I don't know. Trying to think about it's making my nose bleed. Trying to think who would win that. It's just, man, bleh, bleh. Oh my God, I'm vomiting blood. This is crazy. I don't know. Probably Hogan, probably Austin. I'll leave that up to you, man. You think about that. Try to get some sleep tonight. Let me know how you do. Funny thing is, I actually wrote this all down on a legit piece of paper. Your boy, Big Bear Roy Gillette, finally had notes, and that's probably why this one wasn't as funny. So, I apologize. Well, that's my shitty card. That's Big Bear's Fun Time Rec Wrestling Club, or whatever you want to call it. And, hey, maybe maybe you'd actually tune in and watch it. Maybe you'd pay $75 for that pay-per-view. It wouldn't be 4 hours long. Or maybe it would. Sabu likes to take his sweet time when he's wrestling. Those matches go on like 20 minutes. You're like, God, how long can this guy just hurt his ankle? But I don't know. Well, kids, I think this might be my last one. I'm sure I'm going to be fired after this one because it's so slow. I'm just kidding. I'll be back next week. All right, you guys have a good week. Be safe. And in the meantime, remember how awesome Marty Jannetty is. I'll see you guys later.
Big Bear's Den.
Big Bear, Roy Gillette.
That wasn't very long, was it?
I'm a sad man.
I told you it wouldn't be that long. Cause that's all the time we have for this segment called Big Bear's Den.
I gotta find pillows for Billy's race car bed when I get home.
I really like the intro that you do for that.
Do you like that? Because it's anybody who's, like, it's way off the beat.
It's real.
Because I recorded the singing apart from the music, which is
really
always
like
smart to do.
Yeah, I like it.
I'm glad you like it. I kind of wanted it to sound like a little shitty.
Back to the wrestling podcast.
Great. Go ahead.
So, all right. So, indie show. It's not like a very big professional show. It can be run like a professional show, and you'd like it to be, but in most cases, it will be it'll be a crapshoot what you're walking into. But most cases, you're going to walk into this. There's going to be a time when you're called. You'd like to get there on time. Looks good to the booker, looks good to the promoter to be there on time.
Correct.
They don't want to have somebody continually late. If you're late, good idea is to call beforehand or let them know beforehand. That time before the show is when you'll be helping to set up, helping to put things together. You will be expected to do that until you are working in the WWE.
Yep, that's correct.
Don't ever think you've graduated out of that.
Don't sit around waiting for something to do. Look for something to do.
Right. Help out. Do what you can.
Be proactive.
Be proactive and be there on time to help out. Then about an hour before the show starts, you guys will probably have a little pre-show meeting where we'll kind of go over the order, go over any of the twists and turns that are going to go on in the show. Most of the times, if you get booked for something, unless you really know the booker or really know the whole federation, you're just going to get booked. Hey, you're going to be on the show. Come on out. Okay, great. Fantastic. You don't know if you're going to be in a four-way. You don't know if you're going to be in a tag match. Now, if you have a tag team partner, most of the time
you're probably going to be in a tag match, yeah.
But, you could be using different other aspects
Anything
of it.
could happen, yeah.
So you show up, you'll get the match orders, you'll get who you're matched up with, you'll be able to kind of go over what you want to go, hey, great, hey, my name's this is what we do, this is our thing.
This is your kayfabe warning. If you would like to preserve kayfabe, stop listening now.
That's right, yeah, fast forward a few minutes.
That's like the Disney. You ever seen, like, I guess you haven't, like when people are posting things about Disneyland?
Yeah.
They're like, oh, Disney magic warning. Like, if you want to preserve the Disney magic, stop listening. What the fuck is that?
I don't know.
What are you? You're an adult, right? Like,
Yeah.
you understand that. Oh, whatever. All right, back to wrestling.
It's
like, goddamn.
I'm not somebody who worries about, like, spoiler alerts either. Like, I
worry a little, but that's my own. I don't, like, yell at people if they want to talk about something. If I don't want to hear it, I don't listen.
Yeah, but I also, like, if somebody writes it down, I don't care. I don't know why. I've just never been that way. Like, the endings I don't care about. I'm still going to watch it anyway. It's not going to...
They say, actually, if you have something spoiled for you, you enjoy it more.
Yeah.
I've heard.
Yeah,
you watch it differently.
Right. You also don't sit there and go, oh, this didn't end the way I thought it would. Like,
exactly.
I already knew
it was
going to end. Anyway,
back to
regardless of that. So you get rid of the people you're going to match up with. You'll know your twists and turns. You know your angles. If you're running angles, you're running a program, you're running whatever you're doing. This is when these things happen, and you work over what you need to work over and who's going over, who's not.
Right.
Then you gimmick up, get yourself all ready and pretty, and get yourself ready for the show. Start, hopefully, if you got a few muscles, you can start doing a little pre-workout stuff. So
if you have room.
Stretching out your muscles. I bring bands with me so that you could do some band work to get those muscles kind of peaking and get those, bring some chocolate or something to eat. Also bring a little snack for you, too. You don't want to be, you might be sitting back there for a few hours, so you might want to have something to eat while you're sitting there.
Always be ready in the back. You never know what's going to happen in these shows. Somebody could flake out. Somebody could get hurt.
Right.
You don't know when you need to jump into action.
Correct.
So don't take a nap.
Yep.
And also, be ready. If someone calls you up and they need another match, I mean, it's up to you. You don't have to say yes. But be available and willing. The more ring time you get, the more experience you get.
Yep. Maximize your minutes there that
exactly.
you can.
Maximize your minutes.
Also, you never know, and God forbid this were to happen to you at a show, if a fan were to go nuts and jump in the ring, you might need to pile out there and work as security.
That's very true.
You might need to jump out there and help put some people out of the ring. There's classic examples of it even in the WWE where Hunter and or Triple H and Stone Cold were wrestling, and a dude jumps right in the ring and to jump on Stone Cold, and Hunter is on him.
Yeah, I remember that. That was amazing.
Yeah, there are 2 times where Hunter has taken a fan out, and it has been he is not holding back.
He does not mess around.
No, he does not. And that so if you're a wrestler, so now these days, unless you're in somewhere where you're going to be protected, I'd say just sort of struggle them down and sort of separate them. Anyway, but man, those guys in the federations, man, they really pummel them to death. Anyway, so good. So you never know what could happen. You can have your stuff, get yourself ready, stay ready. Show starts, bam. You are normally expected to kind of hang around backstage and not enter or exit through the main portal to the arena.
Right.
Because that is normally frowned upon. You can stand back most of the time and watch through that portal or that door or whatever it is. That's called gorilla.
That's the gorilla position, so named for Gorilla Monsoon.
That's right. It's where he used to watch all the matches. So you'd think that was like a Carney thing, that like
the gorilla, where they put the gorilla.
This is where the gorilla came out. Like it would scare people and the gorilla would run out. But no, I was like,
goddamn Gorilla Monsoon.
Yeah, weird to hear that. Anyway, so and it's good to watch the matches if you can.
Yeah, watch the other matches.
You learn stuff by watching other people's matches and watching them work.
And you'll learn if you had a spot planned and someone else does it, don't put that spot in your match.
Right, yeah.
Audiences don't want to see the same thing. It's like a magic trick. If they see it over and over again, they sort of loses its power.
And if if everybody's working an arm that night, then don't work an arm.
Right.
Unless it's Arm Breaker Thursday or whatever the
I hate Arm Breaker Thursday.
Yeah, whatever the gimmick is that week, I'm gonna anyway.
Yeah.
So your match happens, bam, it's the match of the night, you're the best thing in the world. You go back, you do not say it's the match of the night.
Oh, God, be humble.
Never say your match is the match of the night.
You did not have the match of the night.
Yeah, I blew the roof off. Okay, great, you blew the
roof
roof
off. You don't say
off.
you had the match of the night. People tell you had the match of the night.
Right, you let
That's
the booker
how that works.
and you let the promoter tell you that.
Right, you just go back and go, yeah, that was, good, or yeah, it was fun. You could say it was fun.
Yeah, it was great.
Thank you, partner.
Yeah, we had a great time. Thanks. It was great. I really appreciate it. We did a great, I really appreciate it. Great job for everybody.
Speaking of being humble, be nice to everybody in the arena. Be nice to the sound people. Be nice to the announcers.
Yep.
If they screw up your name, if they screw up your music, do not get mad at them. Do not curse at them. Do not abuse them, because guess what? They could mess it up again. They can mess it up worse. They have way more power over you than you think they do.
Right, and most of the time, these people are doing that, unless you're in a real big federation or a real big league, they're doing that for free, man. So don't go busting somebody's chops when they're doing it for free, okay? These people are doing a yeoman's effort for you. They're playing your music, they're getting it right, they're trying to do what they can. You can bitch about it all you want to your friends and all that, but thank them for their work. I mean, they're out there working too. That's their work. That's their job.
Exactly.
So your match happens, boom. You stay to watch the rest of the show. The show ends. You shake everybody's hand, great, and you go out to clean up and put things away. And then afterwards, if you want to, you go out to eat with everybody.
That's right. You'll learn the most, ironically, after the show, because you'll talk to people. They'll talk to you about your match. You'll talk to them about their match. You'll hear a lot of stories. The business isn't as such that people just drive from show to show anymore. So this is your time to hear from the vets.
Right.
To hear these stories and to hear these lessons. So if you can, go out to eat with them.
Yeah, and it's also a time where you can market yourself. Hey, don't forget about me. Hey, it was great. I was glad to see you. If you saw my match, hey, give me some more stuff online, blah, 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 whatever.
Exactly.
Market yourself to other wrestlers. You never know when somebody goes, oh, hey, I remember that guy. He did that thing. Oh, it was cool. Oh, well, hey, we got a spot in a show. Oh, well, let's give him a call. Maybe he can come over or whatever.
That's right.
It's a lot of it is some of that old school word of mouth marketing.
And we're all here in beautiful downtown Hagerstown, Maryland. So before I leave, I'm going to throw some shout-outs. We're going to shout out to Flandingo Martinez, good old-ish. I'm going to throw it out to Wildman Robbie Page.
Oh, number one.
God love him. We're going to throw it out to Tremor. Tremor's going to get one now. He's not listening yet, but he will.
What about RL?
Oh, R.L. Smith. How could we not?
The original
certified superstar.
Certified superstar.
That's right. And a shout-out to all the greenhorns at the House of Pain who just started listening. Hang in there, guys. You're going to get there real soon. Hey, we need you to rate, review, and subscribe to us on iTunes.
That's right. You can find us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/donutsforall.fr.
You didn't put our name in that at all that time.
Oh, I didn't.
No, not even a little. That was the least used. Yeah, go to Facebook. You'll find us. Road to Wrestling School.
Go to Facebook.
Oh, my God.
But if you Donuts for All, you'll definitely find us.
If you want to email us, you can reach us at roadtowrestlingschool@gmail.com.
That's right. I'm stealing this from JR, the loneliest email in the internet.
Oh, well, yeah. Yeah, nothing. We get a lot of likes on
That's right.
SoundCloud from a lot of bots. They're like, hey, your music sounds good, especially on the episode 30, Jenny. Thanks. If you want to get more subscribers, do this. Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks,
bot.
Oy. Well, we're almost there, so we're going to tap out. I'm Grizzly Joe Grasso.
And I'm #Hamish Stewart.
Keep the faith, Greenhorns. We'll see you down the road and in the ring.
That ending sounds good. I like that.